Hi. Welcome back to Affirmed, where we tell stories of the trans experience. I'm your host, Valerie. Thanks for tuning in. On this episode, we have some pretty exciting things coming up. So, first, I just want to say that we do have a new sponsor. I'll introduce them formally soon, but they're essentially helping me to be able to give back to my local trans community, which is really exciting. This episode, we're going to introduce our first guest and part-time co-host. So you'll meet her in just a second. We have lots of fun episodes lined up to work on with her and I. And I also have a non-binary person who will be coming on the show soon to talk about their experience. So thanks for tuning in. Okay, and like I said, we are introducing our first guest on the podcast and part-time co-host. This is Izalea, and she also goes by Iz or Izzy.
That's me. I'm over on this side.
Hi, Izzy. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Being silly, obviously.
Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I guess top level stuff that everyone who listens to this podcast is going to want to know. I've been out as trans for about 2 years. I think we're getting into that a little bit later as well. I make the best cookies you'll ever eat. And I have done such a wide variety of stuff that I am like a jack of all trades, Jane of all trades now? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Jane of all trades.
Okay, so yeah, I do a lot of stuff. You'll probably hear me do weird anecdotes in random spots. Bear with me.
Yeah. Well, good to have you joining us, and not just this being me sitting on my bed recording by myself. There will still be episodes that are just me, but we have lots of plans to do episodes together, and we do have some other folks that will be joining, be it just me or being Iz and I together. So yeah, super excited.
And usually behind the scenes, my work is at play too because I'm helping.
Yes.
So even if I'm not here, I'm still here, and all of you out there remember that.
Yes, Iz has been a great help for keeping me organized and motivated, and yeah, just helped me come up with content. So
Lots of fun plans.
yes. Did you mention in there about your HRT? Did you talk about that?
I didn't talk specifically about the HRT, but it's been about 2 years since I accepted that I was trans, and my HRT journey went so fast. Because like I it was like had my egg crack moment. Then like 2 months later, I had a doctor's appointment with my family doctor who knew nothing about trans care. And so we made another appointment for a month later, during which I went and did the research and showed back up with a Word document of everything, and everything's just been going really fast since. So yeah, it's relatively condensed 2-year journey. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually something that I have not talked too much about yet, was my own HRT journey, but I ended up taking, I think, about a year to get on HRT because my doctor was supportive, but they just didn't know how to prescribe HRT or what.
Seems pretty common, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lack of education, and so I had to go through a specialized clinic, and it took about a year to get on the through the wait list.
We have the same nurse practitioner now too.
We do. And it's funny enough that actually our HRT anniversary or HRT-versary is exactly 2 weeks apart.
Yep.
So
yeah, which coming up soon.
Yeah. I'll be 2 years on HRT and 3 years out next month. Or no, this month.
Yeah, it's this month.
Yeah.
It's September for everyone out there. So
yeah, I keep thinking it's still August. So
no, school has begun again.
It
My
has.
house is quiet during the day.
Yes, well, mine is not. I do have an illness going around the house. So, yeah, that's
Here's a question. I've been contemplating actually changing the date that I celebrate my birthday to the first day I took hormones. Because I've never felt connected to my actual birthday, and this feels like kind of a rebirth thing. Like, what do you think about that? Like, I don't know if it's weird or not. Am I weird?
No, definitely not weird. See, and I am actually quite connected to my birth date, and I really, yeah, I wouldn't imagine for myself changing that date. But yeah, like the way we celebrate our birthdays is very much. It's honestly like a social construct, right? Like there's no
100%.
huge importance to it overall. It does kind of give you a grasp of like your body's aging, but socially,
we try not to think about that part.
Yeah, right. But like, yeah, socially though, it is, it doesn't matter when you celebrate, right?
Yeah, it doesn't actually make any difference. So, like, can it just be whatever day you want? If you're like, I don't feel like being a Scorpio anymore, I'm going to be a Gemini.
Yeah.
Like, is that enough reason? It might be.
I'm sure, why not?
Our actual birthdays are really close together, too, though, which is weird.
Yeah, definitely.
None of you get to know what it is. Too much info.
Yeah. Well, my wife and I, we still celebrate the day we like first went out, as sort of our anniversary, and then we also have a official wedding anniversary and then a ceremonial wedding anniversary, and so it's kind of similar to that, where it's like we just pick and choose what day we want to celebrate.
So, before I came out, the funniest trope for my wife and I was that she was the one that always got our anniversary wrong. Whereas I was always on the ball. So I guess that might fall under the maybe I should have known if TV has taught us anything. But we don't actually have any idea when we started being a couple. Just for whatever reason, it was nebulous, and then we were. But that's a story for another time, of course.
Yeah. So I know that your voice is something that does bring you some dysphoria.
More than a little.
Yeah, and we've been recording this for a little bit now, and surprise, surprise, I don't record in one take. I often will stop it and cut if I think something sounds weird or off. I don't do a ton of editing, but I do some. So we've had to listen back.
It has been not the easiest for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my voice up, and all of you guys out there listening, like, you'll probably hear me flip around with my voice a lot. Try not to look at directly in the voice. Don't look at the vocal track, okay? Just listen and hear my words. But don't focus on that, because dysphoria is bad.
Yeah. I know for me, and we'll do a whole episode about voice training. I'm hoping to even talk to my old voice coaches because they helped me greatly, and I spent a good 2 years on professional voice training, and it wasn't until very recently that I actually got happy with where my voice is at. So
and I've just been like I've just been picking up and practicing little things and like seeing how I can kind of do it on my own, and it has gone. Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys a treat out there. I've been using this as a bit of a party trick lately, but, like, it doesn't sound like I've done anything with my voice until I go back to my normal voice, and now you can really tell. And you're not going to hear that again for a little while, but there's your fun little treat. Sorry.
Yeah, we will definitely do a whole episode about voice training. For us trans femme folks, it is very difficult to do. HRT does nothing to your vocal cords when you're going the feminization route. Testosterone has already wreaked its havoc, and so we have to do voice training. It's
trans men have it lucky on that one.
Yeah.
I am jealous of that. Except for the testosterone. They can keep that.
Yeah. Trans men have a lot of other stuff to deal with, though.
Yes,
So,
100%.
but
I
uh,
in that one thing, in this thing that affects me.
yes.
That's my
Yeah. So we'll definitely get into that and talk about like the how and tips and stuff. Um, let me see if I can do that party trick. I am at a point now where my muscle memory,
I'm interested now. I want to hear
yeah,
it.
my muscle memory has overridden my ability to go back to my old voice. So even trying, I cannot get back to my old voice
Were- Was
exactly.
was that you just trying?
No, no, no. I haven't
Oh,
yet. I haven't
okay,
yet.
okay,
I
okay.
really have to think and try because, yeah, it's become muscle memory, and it's funny thinking back 2 years ago when I was like, oh, I can't wait till this is easy and it's muscle memory, and now I'm finally there, and like I'm not, as high as it could be, and like I could definitely
Yeah,
sound far more feminine, but this doesn't sound real to me, and it doesn't sound authentic,
yeah.
and this is where I'm comfortable and happy, and the good part of that is I'm happy with my voice.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Your
So
voice doesn't have to be anything in particular to be happy with it. You just have to be happy with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So part of voice training is that you need to feminize. You need your larynx up, and so your tongue has to be at the roof of your mouth. And I'm having a very difficult time getting my tongue to not be at the roof of my mouth
I was
right
gonna
now.
say it's not. It's definitely not changing very much. Like your body's like, no,
No,
we're
no,
not
yeah.
doing this.
It's, yeah. So for all you trans femme folks out there, or anyone that's just wanting to feminize your voice, it is possible to get there where your body just overrides what it used to know, and you get to a new normal.
Yeah.
So
I actually had one moment where I said something breathily earlier, and Val was like, right there. And I
yes.
was like, I know, I felt it, but I have no idea what I did. So, like, eventually it'll happen.
Yeah, and I literally pointed at her and was like, "That, redo that."
Yeah. So now I have something to chase when I go home.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how we met?
Yeah, that was actually really funny. It goes back to what I was telling you guys about how I make the best cookies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this Pride market that some of our friends were running, and I was selling cookies. And so, being right at the front, I kind of got everyone walking by the cookies right off the start. So we saw Val. Then all the tattoos got everyone's attention.
Yes.
So there was myself and my wife and my roommate were there, and there was just clamor and excitement about the tattoos. And then Val went on her way, bought some cookies, and cruised about because so like there was other things to do, and I'm not the most important person, and that's fine. But so Val went off and did stuff, and it was maybe about half an hour later where she was leaving, and I was like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna make sure that this human being has a way to contact me, and I have a way to contact her. It's happening. I don't do this sort of thing, especially not in a like I'm a vendor and you're a customer. Can I like it wasn't like a can I have your number situation, but like it was definitely a this person I want to speak with
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So I don't know what it was like from your perspective, but that was the whole story from my perspective.
Yeah, yeah. And you were just like, "Hey, you seem like a really cool person. Do you mind if we connect?"
Did I say that? Like those words?
I don't know if it's exactly those words, but like you alluded to connecting on Instagram, kind of, and that's where we first started chatting, and that turned into nonstop yapping, and
Yep. Oh, the chat log of the text messages is very long.
very very long. We are both yappers, so that's why we thought this would be fun to have her regularly on the show.
Yeah, it works out for a couple of people who like talking to be doing a podcast. It feels
Yeah.
very appropriate.
But yeah, no, that was essentially it, and I find that this has been happening more and more, and I don't want to get an ego, but I do find that ever since coming out, being myself, and prior I was very introverted, and once I did train jujitsu, and once I got into that, that helped bring some of my confidence out and some of me out. But now that I'm fully myself and I'm just, super energetic, super out there, I find that I often just meet people now. I had
Yep.
trouble meeting friends before, and now I don't. And within the span of a few weeks, like this same experience happened several times.
Yep.
And in the last year, this has happened a lot. I just meet people, and then all of a
No,
sudden it's like, hey, you want to connect? And then we're yapping, and away we go.
Exactly the same thing for me. I wasn't very introverted beforehand, but I never felt that I was worthwhile to someone to be friends with.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother trying. And now I'm not even really trying. I just walk around and am myself, and I guess I'm pretty rad.
I would say so.
That's how it's. So like, I don't know. It's very fun to see those differences from the before and the after, and just get a sense of like what is actually different, and what is actually different is that you are you now.
Yeah.
And that's really the only actual change, is that you're just not pretending to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
And people can tell that
Yeah.
when you're pretending. Even when you don't know you're trans, they probably kind of did in the back of their minds, and they're like, I don't know if that person's real.
Yeah.
They might not be real. Which is very interesting sociologically, that people could potentially pick that up. Yet enough people who are like, I don't want to be your friend because I don't think you're being real and actual, and then you have to like examine yourself and like, and why would that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a good barometer for people coming out.
Yeah, it's wild what happens when you are yourself. And I also remember too, one of my little ones was throwing an absolute fit because they were done.
Yes.
And I know you felt really bad
I
about
felt
stopping me, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely glad you did.
I didn't know at the time that there was a breakdown happening. I had no idea, because like the stroller was just oriented in such a way that I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
It was just like in that moment, I think I forgot you had little ones. I was just like that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I felt really awkward about it afterwards, because it's like, you're trying to get out of there and do something and deal with a I don't want to call it a tantrum, but like being overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah.
Overstimulation, that sort of thing. And like you're dealing with that, and then as a parent to have some random bitch come in and be like, can we talk?
Yeah.
Like that, it felt weird after the fact.
Yeah.
It feels fine now. But like at the time I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah,
So.
and like, to be clear, I was super glad that you did reach out. And even in the moment, it wasn't weird to me. I just, dealing with little ones, when they're done like that, it can be exhausting. And I wanted to stay longer, but
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta be a parent and do what you gotta do. So
Sigh.
Sigh.
Yeah. That's okay. It's the best part. Actually, one thing that Quinn and I talk about. Quinn is my wife, for people out there. I did make sure that I could say their name, just so everyone knows. But one thing we talk about is like how I lament that it took so long for me to accept things. But like, there's a limit now to how far back I would have wanted to accept things. Because if it was any earlier than our youngest was born, then our youngest wouldn't have been born. So like, as much as I do kind of feel bad that I missed out on a lot of the like high school girl stuff, it's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a want anymore to actually go through and recreate that, because if I did, like if I had some weird time machine, then I wouldn't have kids.
yeah.
So like, it's just one of those things where like it's interesting to think about that, like there is actually a limit to how far back I would have liked to have figured shit out.
Yeah. I discovered my transness sometime around, in the last episode I talked about that moment, but it was a while after that moment before I really, there's sort of like a break, and then I kind of got into it and started figuring things out, and that happened several months before one of my little ones was born. And so it's sort of same situation. Like, yes, I do feel sad missing out on some of the growing up as a girl things, but I also, if I had discovered it any earlier, then I wouldn't necessarily have my kids as the way they are now. And
exactly, and it's a weird,
yeah,
like, obviously, like, we're parents and our kids are the most important things ever, but like, the feeling of that, discovering yourself being earlier feels nice.
Yeah.
Like if I could have earlier, I feel like everything would be even further along, even better.
Well, if you discover before testosterone can destroy your body.
Yeah, yeah, that would be ideal. But yeah, so it was just something that Quinn and I were definitely uh, discussing more than once in our nighttime quizzy time.
Yeah.
So
And I do say that knowing that there are folks that want to be on testosterone and are not.
oh yeah,
If
yeah,
if that's what you
mm-hmm.
want, that's amazing for you. Love that. For at least us on
Yeah.
I'm not going to
No,
speak for
thank
every
you.
trans femme person, but just want to acknowledge that for us, testosterone has done work to our body that we didn't
Yeah.
want, and so
Oh, if anyone out there
yeah.
wants my testosterone, like you can have it. Like we can trade 100%. I would absolutely do that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I always find really interesting is when I hear trans men in particular talk about, their changes over time with testosterone and what they're looking forward to and sort of seeing the euphoria from things that I hated with testosterone. And I'm sure
Yeah.
it's, different, the same for them on the opposite side, right? Um,
Yeah, no, my sports ball analogy for trans masc and trans femme is that we're on the same team, but one of us is offense and one of us is defense, so we don't play on the field at the same time.
yeah,
I don't know why I had to throw that analogy in there, but I did, and you're all welcome.
yeah,
So, but yeah, that's the thing is like we're going different directions, but
we're all there for each other.
exactly, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we ever do say anything like "ugh, testosterone," just understand that if you like testosterone yourself, you go for it.
Oh, yeah.
We're 100% behind you.
Oh yeah, we will support you for anything that you want.
Yeah, just don't put any of that near me, on
Yeah.
me, in me. No, thank you. None of that, please.
All right. Just looking at the time. Yeah, I think as we try to keep these around 20 to 25 minutes. We had sort of a list of things that we did want to talk about.
That
we
we
knew.
did not even remotely get close to.
No, I had a whole bunch of questions. It was a, interview style, when did you discover your transness? So I think we can probably skip a bunch of those for now and probably just do another episode. But I did want to ask you, because I think this is, really, really important. There's two questions here.
Okay.
So do you have a moment when you've experienced the most euphoria that you've felt?
Yes. So euphoria for me usually comes in little snippets, and it's almost always hilarious. So I had an intense moment of euphoria when a guy, presumably, driving past in a car, yelled out "nice tits," and I was like, I got catcalled. And then I was like, wait, I got catcalled. Grr. No, you're not supposed to do that. But that euphoria was actually very intense. I went from a normal walking to the store to I was swinging my hips afterwards
You were
and
skipping down that sidewalk.
but also gross.
Yeah.
Don't yell that at me, but also it's okay that one time. Everyone can have that one, I guess, because it's just felt really good. But I would say, aside from the actual moment of accepting who I was, deciding my name was another big one.
And that's something we'll talk about too, is how do you figure out your new name?
Yeah, I think that maybe that the catcall one wasn't the most euphoria I've felt, but it's definitely the funniest dichotomy of feelings. So yeah.
That's definitely something I want to talk a little bit more about as well, especially for us that grew up, socialized as men, we don't experience a lot of that sort of attention from men that, young girls and teens have growing up that makes them feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And we have all this male privilege that then we're giving up. And so I've actually experienced that several times recently with very creepy interactions with men that did make me feel unsafe, and it's both affirming in that they see me as a woman, but also really awkward,
yeah,
uncomfortable, unsafe, those kind of things. And
yeah.
it's very weird. Yeah, my other question was going to be, what brings you joy now as a trans woman?
That's oddly in a way that's very hard to say because basically everything. Um, I went from not really caring if tomorrow was gonna come, not to get too dark on it, but like to now every time I wake up, I'm like, oh, what am I doing today? And then like I want to be there.
Yeah.
So the joy that I feel from coming out is literally all pervasive. And I mean, like, when we went to the mall and I tried on that dress and walked around it for a while in public, and like all these ladies in the change room were like treating me like a lady, that was probably also super euphoric for the record. But like that was joy. But there aren't a lot of spikes of joy. It's just been a slow ramp up, and it's just always that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good answer, but it's my answer.
And that's all that matters. I mean, that to me is a good answer. But it's funny because there's so many people out there that are like, we're destroying ourselves, or not accepting ourselves, or whatever. But just hearing that and seeing the joy on your face when you were talking about not wanting tomorrow to come, or not caring if tomorrow comes, to now just like looking forward to the day.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like, and it's indescribable. It's like words.
It's a lack of weight.
Yeah.
Like the weight of knowing that something is wrong and not being able to identify what it is.
Yeah.
Like static in the back of your car radio as it's playing the like whatever popular hits, but there's just that little bit of static that makes you go, oh, there's static there.
Yeah.
But like you can't pinpoint where it is. You don't know how to turn the knobs on the radio to make the static go away. And then now it's just the static is gone.
Yeah.
Now the channel is clear, and so everything is lighter and it comes through clearer. And when I experience something, I'm experiencing it for real.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just diaphanous and hazy and ugh.
Yeah.
So.
And I know we're going over 25 minutes, but this is me talking too. This is really important, and I think for anyone who is not trans to really understand that, like, we go through life, and for both of us in particular, we didn't really know about our transness until later on in life.
Oh, not for a long ass time.
And so it just feels like something's wrong, but you don't know why. And for others who do know, they have to go through life knowing something's wrong, and maybe knowing more about it or less about it, but they still have that knowledge, and maybe the dysphoria or whatever. That is not living.
Yeah.
And we are now free to be ourselves, and being free to be ourselves is the most powerful feeling. And so I think it's really important for folks to know that, all of this is, there's some bad with the good, right? Dysphoria and stuff like that. And there's a lot of hate out there and all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, we're just people living our lives, and we're now happy to live our lives.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really, really special.
And that's why for all those people out there who say that we're just like doing it for attention or whatever, which I've heard a lot, not directed at me, but generally, like with the dysphoria and the way society is right now, if it was a choice, a lot of us probably wouldn't make that choice.
No.
So like in this, it's just been better in every way. And if people want to hate me for it, they can go ahead and hate me over there.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if I could choose to not be trans and live with the joy that I have now, absolutely I would, because being trans is tough. But you know what? I am trans, and I'm proud of it, and I'm happy to be who I am, because it's given me a far more fulfilling life than I ever could have imagined. So.
100%. Totally agree.
But yeah, we're closing in on a half hour, which
wrap
is
it
fine.
up.
We're going to wrap this up. But yeah, we have lots of new stuff coming in. We're actually going to be talking about, as is there sort of mentioned, we took a trip to the mall with the intention of getting is some new Euphoria, generating clothes.
Spoiler, I'm a 48 double D. Tune in next time to find out why.
So we're going to be chatting about that because, I go out now myself and I shop wherever I want to shop, and I don't really have any fear, but I used to. I know what that's like. And
that was me.
Yeah, she's kind of just starting to get out there and still feels a little bit of that anxiety walking into a women's clothing store. And so
that was terrifying.
Yeah. So we're going to chat about that. And yeah, like I said, have a non-binary person coming on the show soon too, and a whole bunch more lined up. So thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you for being here. Hello.